mind you can't control. Running wild, can't come down. My head is in the clouds.
Let's go.
This feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. Before thinking that you feel like this, make me feel like this. We got a party for a lifetime. Oh, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. Before I'm thinking that we feel like this, make me feel like this. I'm on my last straw. I'm broken and I'm woken up. I'm done feeding your lies. I've had enough. I can't run your place in this faulty game. And all the words you speak mean nothing more to me. 'Cause let's start over now. Rewind, and I won't let you go. I need you by my side. I'm gone, so don't run from the truth. You're lost, now I know you played me just like a flute. I still can't believe you had me on a leash, cutting all my teeth with all the lies you bring. 'Cause let's start over now. Rewind, and I won't let you go. I need you by my
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. got here. 'Cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll fall now. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And then we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. I'm on my last straw, I'm broken.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Today is July 19th, 2024, 6:10 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Thank you all so much for joining me. You guys are so sweet, so kind always. Really do appreciate you. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be here. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it and your support. But right now, we do have some breaking news that is coming out. 4 brothers are missing, ages 2 to 5 years old. We're going to get to that in just a moment. But first, I want to thank Rosemary coming in as a pearl. Welcome to the family, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Y'all, please welcome Rosemary. And Hey Jude just gifted a pearl necklace. Thank you, Hey Jude. We love you, my dear. If you received that pearl necklace, please thank our beloved Hey Jude. Thank you so much, Hey Jude. Love you so much. And brown-eyed gal, girl, rather. Thank you so much for becoming a pearl. Pearls look amazing on you. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate you guys. Now, 4 brothers are missing, ages 2 to 5 years old. We always need to get this out as soon as possible because, as you know, and I know, in the first 48 hours are the most critical for law enforcement. So we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. Authorities searching for 4 young brothers last seen in Palmdale. So we're talking about California here. Palmdale, California. Anyone in California needs to keep their eyes and ears open. Please share this. Please. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department is asking for the public's help in finding these 4 young boys. I'm going to show you faces, and they're going to be telling you what they're wearing. And that says a lot. When we get to that, I'm going to tell you. So we're talking about Palmdale, California. The 4 brothers were last seen on July 1st. July 1st. That's 18 days ago. Around 2 p.m. July 1st on the 800 block of East Avenue P12 in Palmdale. The brothers' age range 2 to 5 years old, and authorities say they are considered at risk. At risk. Details about their disappearance is limited, but the sheriff's department believes the 4 boys are possibly headed to the Mave. And make sure I'm saying that right. I want to make sure I'm saying that right. Yeah, Mojave area in Kern County. Done a lot of stories out of Kern County. The following description has been provided by the LA County Sheriff's Department. Case Brown, right here, little Case, has brown hair, brown eyes, and was last seen wearing a white diaper. That's it. A white diaper. That's it. Officials say Case has Down syndrome. He has Down syndrome. Kai Brown, 4 years old. Right here's Kai. Has short brown hair, brown eyes, and was last seen wearing a white underwear. White underwear. That's it. So Case Brown he has Down syndrome. He is was last seen wearing a white diaper. That's it. Kai Brown, right here, was last seen wearing white underwear. Kadeen, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing that right. Caden. Okay, they spell it Caden. Caden, excuse me, Brown, right here, has curly brown hair, brown eyes, and was last seen wearing a white diaper. Little boy right here, Caden Brown. And then we have Cohen, I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Coon, is that how they pronounce it? I'm going to say Cohen. Brown, Coon or Cohen Brown, 5, short brown hair, blue eyes, and was last seen wearing white underwear. I'm going to make this picture bigger for y'all in just a little bit. Anyone with information about the whereabouts is urged to call the LASD Watch Commander 661-272-2454. Again, 661-272-2454. You can also do an anonymous tip, can be submitted online or by calling 1-800-222-8477. 1-800-222-8477. Let me see if I can make this even bigger for us. So please take a look. Take a look at these 4 boys. They are missing. They have not been seen, heard from, nothing in 18 days. The last time anyone saw these children was 18 days ago. They are considered at risk. Case Brown, he has Down syndrome. All was seen wearing either a diaper, that's it, or white underwear. It does not say. I have another. Let me switch over to here. It's just unbelievable in the world we live in. It's just really unbelievable. So this is, hold on, let me see if they got a video on this. Or is this just an ad? Give me 1 second. How many ads is there? All right. Detectives are asking the public for help. Friday, in the search for 4 young boys reported missing out of Palmdale. The boys and are all brothers and range from 2 to 5. One has special needs. One has who has Down syndrome, according to the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. They were last seen in Palmdale on July 1st when they were at the 800 block of East Avenue P12. I'm going to look for that at 2 p.m. They were described as at risk by sheriff officials who said they are probably headed to the Mojave. No other details surround the report of the missing boys has been released by the sheriff's department, including who they may be with or why they have gone missing. Seems a little cryptic, doesn't it? It's a little weird, if you ask me. Again, here they are. They all range from 30 pounds to Cohen Brown, or also can be pronounced some Coon, is 40 pounds. Again, anyone with information, call 661-272-2454, 800-222-TIPS, or you can go at lacrimestoppers.org and they will you can remain anonymous. With Steve, seems like a non-custodial kidnap. I don't know. You know what I mean? I really don't know. It's very strange how they're not giving I mean, like, why wouldn't you say who they might be with? I've never seen anything like that. Little Bear, they were last seen July 1st around 2 p.m. I'm going to show you where they were last seen. Pop it over here. Hold on. 800 block. 800 block in Palmdale. Okay. Palmdale. Let me look at this 1 second. The LE. Okay. What does P12 mean? Let me look at this. Let me just check this. P12. Let me see if I can find that. Okay, 800. Is this the East Avenue? It's 112 degrees over there. No, it's 800 Avenue P12. Okay. Let's see this. So this is where they're supposed to. Eighth Street. No, that can't be it either. Okay, let's do this. 800 block East Avenue. We'll just do Palmdale. This says H10. I don't know how you got to do these streets. That's a little weird. I've never seen H8. We're looking for P12. Doesn't make sense. 800 block of East Avenue. Let me see here. 800 East Avenue. Try like 800. Okay, Avenue. Maybe we'll do it like this. P12, Palmdale. Okay, here we go. 8th Street, P12. Okay, so it's right through here. Got it. Okay. So this is the last street they were seen in. And it looks rough. I'll just say that. It looks rough. Right? So this is the last street that they were seen on. So anyone knows this area, please this is the last place they were seen, right here. Yeah, looks a little shady. Looks a little shady. Thank you, Brown Eyed Gal. Appreciate you. Thank you so very much, my dear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't either. I mean, there's 4 kids missing right now. 4 kids. That's I don't know. So I wanted to put that out there. We're gonna stay on top of this. Again, if we see anything, hear anything, I will uh definitely keep you guys updated with this. Updated with this. Okay. All right. 156 miles from. Yeah, me too. Want to be sleuthing like that would be really nice to do. It is a long time, and to not say where they're from, or I mean, like who they're with. They went missing July 1st. Did you check the text about Maria yesterday? Maria. I don't I don't know who Maria. I can't remember who Maria is. Um all right. So, moving on to the Sebastian Rogers case. Oh my god, guys, is this ever going to be solved? Is it ever? Uh oh, hold on. I just got something in. One second. On Tuesday evening at 5:07 on the Palmdale Sheriff's Station received a call of child not breathing at the 800 block of East Avenue P15. Uh See me a moment in time. Thank you, my dear. Appreciate ya. Welcome to the family. Pearls look amazing on you, darling. I just want to show you this. Again, I want to tell you guys that this may absolutely be not related, but it's close together regardless. This was from 2023. Oh, actually, this would not. I'd probably not be related. I just checked the date. It's from November 8th, 2023. This is a 2-year-old dies of alleged overdose in Palmdale home, and this was on the 800 block, same block, but P15 in Palmdale. Upon paramedics arrived at the scene, they continued to administer life-saving measures as a resident of the home was performing CPR on the child. So yeah, same street, same everything. God. They Deputies found an unresponsive 2-year-old. Los Angeles County Fire Department personnel also responded to the location, performed life-saving measures. The child was subsequently transported to a local hospital and pronounced deceased. Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's from 2023. Same street though. You can tell it's kind of a rough one, a rough neighborhood, right? Yeah. 2-year-olds getting their hands on that stuff that would stop an elephant's heart. Anyway, you know, going back to the Sebastian Rogers case, a lot of people think that Sebastian may be given too much medicine. And, I was thinking, Seth, he didn't give him medicine when he was at his house, the way he spoke about things. So I kind of wondered, that means Katie could potentially have more medicine than she, right, if he didn't take it on those days. Could he have been, you just read it's a custody issue. Wow. They are definitely at risk if it's a custody issue because, many times one parent will harm the child if they want a way to get back at their soon to be ex or whatever. Like a non-custodial issue. Okay. Mama Bear just sent. Okay. Thank you, Mama Bear. All right. We got 10 seconds and we'll post this.
And we have breaking news. The LA County Sheriff's Department is asking the public to help find 4 missing Palmdale brothers. They were last seen July 1st. Case Brown is 4 years old with Down syndrome. Kai Brown is 4 years old. Caden Brown is 2 years old, and Cohen Brown is 5 years old. Palmdale sheriffs say this is a custody issue where the boys were taken by a relative, but they're not sure which one or which relative that is. Right now, this is not considered a kidnapping, but that
Good
could
to
change
see
in the
you,
future.
Megan.
The only reason a missing persons bulletin was released is because of the boys' ages.
Rated Teen.
All right. Thank you for that. So it's a custodial issue. Uh-oh, let me fix my camera. Custodial issue. Once. So there's that. All right. I know. You know, I just don't understand people how they can't think about their kids. They are so selfish that all they think about is themselves. That's it. That's it. It's craziness. All right, going back to the Sebastian Rogers case. I want to read something that I saw on Reddit about this. If I can find it somewhere. All right, this is credit goes to Biffy McGilly Cuddy 1. It says, I heard from a teacher of Sebastian's, of his, is what it says. While he is autistic, he is very high functioning. They were confused why the initial reports made it seem like he was severely disabled. He has behavioral issues at school and has been to alternative school, which the teacher does not believe to be linked to his autism, but who knows, in parentheses. This teacher has a high functioning autistic nephew the same age as Sebastian, who I know. They asked me if I could imagine her nephew being unaware or unable to get help, which I couldn't. And they pointed out he's at or just below Sebastian's level. The area where Sebastian went missing is very populated, and they have asked everyone to check their yards and land, buildings and outbuildings. Sorry, this is so tiny I can't really see it. Can Give me 1 second. We're fucking. Okay. They asked everyone to check their surveillance cameras and report anything unusual, even if it doesn't seem related to Sebastian. Allegedly, there is no sign of him on the neighbor's hood cameras. His mother claims a flashlight is missing from the house, but that's all. Um, his shoes was still there, which means he would have left barefooted. And I'm going to add, also could have left with socks on. Helicopters are flying over and doing thermal imaging, but no clue to his whereabouts and has been found. There was a pretty big storm this morning, and the temperature dropped 30 to 40 degrees. It's now 39. So I think Sebastian would have been flushed out of any outdoor hiding spot if he left on his own free will and was still, if he was still in the area. The police are also asking the public not to conduct searches, which makes me wonder what they are expecting to find. So a few points on that. A few points on that, right? First, this person is obviously a local, and it seems like, in my opinion, why, like the autism was really, really pushed by Chris and Katie in the very beginning. It is an important note, but they kept saying, they really played onto that, right? Sebastian's 15 years old, but he's really, really young in mind. And did they, what was the reasoning behind that? Was it um to allegedly make it that they were, that he would actually walk out the door without shoes? But how could he have, if he was really that young in mind, right? How could he have gotten by cameras? But he plays chess. There we go. But he plays chess. Every one of these teachers and anyone from the school has came out and spoke. They all say that Sebastian was just like any other child. There are people I know who think that autism is like Downs. Or are they trying to make him sound like he is mentally handicapped? Yeah. And that's very important too, Truth Seeker. And he stays at home for 12 hours while Seth is at work. Something doesn't add up here. Thank you. Thank you. He has a chromosome deletion, right? And he has, I would say, probably he's very, very high functioning autism. But he's very young in mind, like Chris and Katie says, but he plays chess and he stays at home alone for hours on end. Now, if he was that, right, like if he wasn't as high functioning as he is, are they going to let him stay home? And it was a late diagnosis. And I'll be honest with you, I think he would have been probably diagnosed earlier had it been severe. Thank you, Sarah. You know what I mean? Jennifer, thank you so much, my dear. I've been listening. You can pop me. Can't even pop my 5 babies. What do you mean pop? You mean pop your 5 babies? If I were a mom with a missing kid, I might play up their mental diagnosis uh, in order to get law enforcement to take it more seriously. I don't get the vibe from them though. Um, I mean, do you have to play it up though? If you have autism, you have autism, right? I mean, that's enough, right? Whether you're high functioning, somewhere in the middle, or on, low functioning, uh, does, all, yes, it is a range, but I don't think that they're going to search less or more whether your child has autism or don't, really. Asperger's, they said my nephew had that. Total sweet boy, but had a loving, encouraging mother, in my opinion, Sebastian. I think it was more of his chromosome deletion, in my opinion. Uh, but that's just me. Uh, so there's that. They definitely made it sound like it was something else. Like he was, what's the word I'm looking for? Got a secret? Can you keep it? Thank you so very much for 2 continuous months. We had a neighbor sign a paper not to share. Who had a neighbor sign a paper to not share video footage? From what was told to me, it was law enforcement. Yep. That they are not to speak about it. They will tell me, some things, but they won't speak about, for instance, what the car looks like, uh, all of that kind of stuff. Just yeah, I see your text, Mama Bear. So, all right, now let's get to this. This is a transcript of what Chris and Katie, with their first interview that they spoke about to Duchess. And it's let me see if I can find it. Let me find it. This is where they're talking about law enforcement giving their phones up. Giving their phones up. Maybe it was this one. Okay. Before we bear with me, guys. The gaming. Well, damn it. I can't see, guys. I'm sorry. 1 second. Shelf at the store. Strict safety features. Even we could. House. Okay, I don't know the question. Saying something like he was going to ask you. I'm missing one. I have to be missing one here. Let me see if I can find it. Or I might come back to that if I can't. All right. Let me show you this. I'll have to come back to this because I can't see the text right now. This was something that, this is pitch black dark, where what you're seeing right here. When you have a Ring camera, it is in black and white. Black and white. Everything is in the dark, right? It uses like infrared and others. So it doesn't show color at night, but it does show things clearly. And just look how far you can see. Look how far this person showed, right? Let me pop this up here. Now that's really far. It was them taking out their trash. We have a Ring video on our neighborhood Facebook page every day. Yeah. So you see this, right? And you can see very far out there. Very, very far out there. And this person, for anyone wanting to know what our cameras may show and the distance, you can see this is my Brinks driveway camera. Brinks driveway camera. We do not have street lights and my subdivision is dark. This video is at 7:53 p.m. and my son is taking the trash out. Okay? Very similar. Right? Very, very similar. No, it's not Twilight. That's just how it makes it brightens up. If it's amazing how the technology is. Right. It's really amazing how the technology is. This is aggravating me because I wanted to show this thing. Can you pick a... I'm trying to find this thing again. We don't believe in allowing our kids to so why do we on the... There was something I wanted to speak about in Chris and Katie's first interview, and I think I might have got the wrong one. But Chris was speaking something that was going... I don't know. I'll have to just go back to that in a little bit. All right, now let's talk about the no body cases. The no body cases. All right. Without a body, right? Without a body, let me see here. All right, without a body, they have to have everything, everything in order, right? It has to be overwhelming evidence all together that is really rock solid. Really rock solid. Okay, Ashley, thank you. I'll look at that. Without a body, you need to make sure all your evidence is overwhelming. Megan Doyle, a prosecutor familiar with no body murder case. Remember, we looked at the no body murder case book. We went over it here on this channel before. A prosecutor familiar with murder cases tells A&E True Crime most no body cases that go to trial are based on lengthy investigations and an abundance of strong evidence. Quote, the evidence is a solid, no body, unaliving case tends to cluster around what I call, quote, three legs of the stool, end quote, said Tad DeBase, a former federal prosecutor and author of No Body Homicide Cases, a practical guide to investigating, prosecuting, and winning cases when the victim is missing. The most important leg of the stool is some type of forensic evidence, which includes DNA such as hair, blood, fiber, fingerprints, or technology evidence, either including cell tower records, surveillance, camera pictures, or some other tech that shows someone was or was not in a certain location. So, when it comes to that, right, need a confession. Well, a confession is a, that's a no-brainer. If you do a confession, that's one way, right? That's one way. But the other one is, they would have to have some sort of, they would have to have some sort of forensics. But I think, and I even believe, uh, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. On this case, said that he hopes that, one day someone will, call in and crack this case wide open. And others have said that what may solve this, if there is foul play, is again cell towers, right? Saying you was in this place at this time, but you weren't, right? Craddock. Yeah, Eric Craddock. Thank you. Just couldn't think of his name. So could been gone for a while taking care. Oh, good to see you, Sarah. Chris could try to go and get any ring video, but didn't search. Why? Yeah, that's a good question. Um, that's okay. It's okay, Canadian. We need a confession, and for the person confessing to tell where the body is. Well, that is one way, but it's going to come down to, in my opinion, if Sebastian is not found, right? We have to go along the places that are most familiar uh, with maybe Chris, maybe Katie, maybe even Sebastian. What was familiar to Sebastian? Areas that were familiar. Now, that's just something that we're going to have to think about. I think it's a case uh, of the unalived Sebastian and quick. I don't know. But all I know is I pray to God that he is found soon. Soon. CP job site is only 20 minutes from Mississippi River. Oh, it's really, 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 really close to his camper. Really close to his camper. Like really close. Baby Joe Clyde Daniel, nobody yet. Dad confessed. Yes. And I've never understood that, Ramona. Like, how do you confess, but you won't say where he is? Like, dude, you're in prison. Just, you know, tell us where Joe is. Oh, you know something? You want to talk about uh ICU? Do you have that clip where the TBI interviews Joe Clyde Daniels' parent, dad? Do you know where that is? There's the video of TBI, I believe it's TBI, interrogating Joe Clyde Daniels' uh dad, and Harmony still not found. Uh and it's very interesting. It teaches you a lot about, in my opinion, on how to interview uh people you speak with. Law enforcement only has to take the VIN number of the car to the manufacturer and get the GPS nowadays. Um, I don't even think they have to. Probably they can just download it from their vehicle. Um, disabled veteran disabled person over 4 hours. I just don't understand why he won't say, like, why can't you just put him like I wonder, is that still control? Oh, really, Tori? Hey, Maurice, how are you, darling? Um, Hilda, last proof of life was steakhouse. That is the last proof of life. That is true. That is true. Um, all right. Let me show y'all some stuff up in here, up in here. All right. All right. Maybe. I'm just trying to exit out some of these stuff. Okay. That's still not it. Okay. No, it's still not it. Oh, goodness. I hope I did not delete it. Make sure you check out my video I did yesterday. It's a short video on my new Dolly merch that it's on Hey Sweet Tea. If you're into Dolly, it was really, really good as well. Presentation. Okay, I got it. Oh my god, I thought I deleted it all. Why would KP just let Seth have Sebastian? Would she have to pay child support? She would not have to pay child support. They actually, it was a 50-50. Oh, thanks, Jude. It was a 50-50. They just kind of both, it was a 50-50, and they never did child support or anything like that. So no, I don't think it would have anything to do with that. No, it was on Hey Sweet Tea, wasn't it? Yeah, Patty, we talked about that. It was just a little ways back. Water bath, air pressure. I went to Joe Clyde's house. His dad had knocked holes on the walls. Chris reminds me of Joe Daniels so much. Some temper. Yep. It was on this channel? I'm out of it, guys. Sorry. Craziness. Absolute craziness. Are you sure? I swear I meant to do it on my other channel. The Dolly merch was on this channel. I give up. I don't know. Watch it on this channel. Watch it on that. I really meant to do it on Hey Sweet Tea. Like I really meant to do that. Okay. I don't know. Guess I got my days and my nights mixed up. Something like that.
This is Nick Barris. I am in the emergency operations room for the Sumner County Emergency Management Agency. This is Ken Widener. He's the director. It's the first time we've been allowed in here to take a look and to show you, Ken, and maybe you can explain just how much searching has been done for Sebastian Rogers. This is what?
So this is a master map. This is a
Look at this.
compilation of every day. So we've got day one.
Listen. All look at this map for one moment. Right? You don't think they would have found him in that 5-mile radius? Look at this map, people. They have went over this, combed through this, walked through this, flew through this, drone through this, fixed wing aircraft through this, everything. If that child was in a 5 or 6 mile radius, which in my opinion, not a fucking way he walked out of a 5 or 6 mile radius. I don't care if he left at 12:01 in the morning. Let's get real. Let's get real. Look at this. Within 4 or 5 days, they had put over 10,000 miles in walking. 10,000 miles in a 5-mile radius. In a 5-mile radius. This kid is not going to walk out of this 5 miles. Right? Dogs all over this area. All over. Right? My shirt matches the map. Yeah. Walked. Dogs never picked up a scent in any of this area. Any of this area. Nothing.
Through the end, and we can put layers on here, but this is everything that has been searched to this point that we have tracked.
Hundreds of individuals involved with the search, checking everywhere. You see the different things on
Thank
here
you,
where
Alan.
you've checked big ponds, a beanie found, knocking door to door, covering the whole area over a period of time.
Mhm.
And were you able to find any sign of Sebastian?
No, we've had close to 1,500 searchers. We've got 1,350 documented, and then we've got additional people. I'm sure we don't have documented on the career side, on the train.
1,500 searchers. 1,500 searchers in a 5-mile radius. Do you know how many 1,500 people, is like lined up? 1,500 people, professional people. Professional people. Right? And nothing. Nothing. And if someone doesn't think something doesn't, documented people. If something doesn't stink here, I don't know what to tell you. Something is wrong.
Public safety side, and thousands of miles of search ops. The first 2 days, we logged 2,000 search miles. We haven't had time to.
Hold on one second. There's someone said something I need to address. Tina, there's been no evidence found of anything. They found what they may think of something of interest. To be quite honest with you, it's probably nothing. But there has been no evidence found at all for Sebastian. There's not him on. There's no digital, meaning camera evidence that Sebastian walked off. There's no scent of Sebastian walking off. There's nothing other than a vehicle that pulls up at the beginning of their street and people with some sort of lights, walking around in a common area and then going to the car, doing something around a car for a couple minutes, and then one person running back towards the Proudfoot area, the common area.
Extrapolate all of this to get a total.
Look
So
at
it's
this.
probably going to be 10, 12,000 miles searched.
Bottom line, though, even as we sit here now,
12.
the search continues.
Did you hear that? 12,000 mile search.
A total. So it's probably going to be 10, 12,000 miles searched.
Bottom line, though, even as we sit here now, the search continues,
The search
and you have
continues.
hope that perhaps
Oh, yeah.
Sebastian could still
Now-
be alive.
Yeah, we're not.
I want to
Well,
show you
well,
something on this map.
Bottom line, though, even as
All right. Look at the areas that they're more focused on. Look at the areas that they're more focused on. Right? Now, yes, they've checked, down through here. They've checked, but they're focused more on this way. Why are they focused more toward this way? Why? Didn't CP say police will be studying this case for years? He certainly did on day 7. He certainly did. And another thing that Chris stated, they did something the day that they left. I can't find anything today. I probably shouldn't have went live. I don't know what I was going to say. There was something that the day that they took off, and I had something pulled up about it, but I can't find it. So he's got Nick Barris for a map that isn't blurry. I've got one that's pretty not. Yeah, he went to the RV park, but it was something happened that day, and it was something pretty pretty interesting. Did they first he may have been unalived in a whole new state. Katie and Chris always mention about the state lines. Law enforcement sure got a search warrant for the landfill ASAP. They certainly did. And I showed you guys that the other day where they did have to get warrants. Oh my goodness, Sonia, I'm so sorry. Chris got cocky out of the blue. Well, the day they started tying up, they stopped searching, right? And they said, we're more on the investigative aspect of it now. That's when Chris and Katie start randomly doing interviews. It's quite interesting if you ask me. I don't know, but something is wrong here. The TBI says many neighbors and businesses have provided video from home and business surveillance. We are grateful for their cooperation. The videos have been collected, and from the beginning of the investigation has been analyzed, enhanced where possible by tech experts, by the FBI, TBI, and Secret Service. So I don't know. I just don't think that they're going to be able to do much until he's either found
Speaking on the flash.
or something. Justin, yes, you should have went live. We all have brain farts. Thank you. Appreciate you, my dear. Thank you, Tina. I'm usually very prepared, and I don't know. I guess I'm not with it today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, where was I? I'm trying to look for something, and I can't
Flashlight
find it.
slash garbage truck video of the home surveillance that is looking at Sebastian Rogers' home. I am about to show you what I have found. We are going to enlarge and slow down this video. Sit back and watch. It will surprise you. These big lights could be a garbage truck, I'm not sure, but I think that they are lights on one of the houses. And I believe they are on the Proudfoot's home, and they are stationary. They do not move. Now, if you pay attention to the rest of the screen, the other two sources of light that you are going to see moving across the screen, I will enlarge it. I'll slow it down some, but I will point it out to you in just a minute that these are people. That is two people with some kind of light source. Could be a cell phone, could be a flashlight. I don't know, but it is two people with a light source, and they are walking back towards those big lights, which are right at the Proudfoot's home. Jay for Justice showed us where those lights are located by using Nick Barris's video and putting a light filter over it. You can go to her channel to see that. But if you pay close attention here and watch as the light moves across the screen, when it reaches to the top of the screen, if you watch in front of those big lights, right here in a second, it's about to walk in front of those big lights, and you will then be able to see that it is a person. You can actually tell it's a person even before then, about midway to the lights. But watch closely, and you're going to see this person walk in front of those big lights right there. Right there. You see? Pause it. If you need to, you can enlarge your screen and take a look at it. Even slow it down on your end and take a look at it. Look right now. There it goes. It's about to cross in. Okay. Here I'm bringing it to you. Now watch. That is a person right now standing in front of that light source. I have inserted a enlarged still shot of the video where you can actually see that that is a person standing about midway of the screen right now. And I understand that we've been told it's a garbage truck. We've been told it's not relevant, amongst other things. But what I'm telling you is that video doesn't lie. I do have a pretty good background in video and skills with it. And that is to
Certainly someone there. Certainly someone there, in my opinion. Definitely someone there. Lines are open if anybody wants to call in. They're welcome to. So, something that was asked to Chris before is, Chris, whenever you were speaking with Katie, is it Aries' birthday? Is Chris, when you were speaking to Katie that evening from 9 let's talk about this. Okay. Chris, oh, it's tomorrow. Remind me and I'll sing happy birthday to you tomorrow. Right? Clutch your pearls.
I'm gonna try to. But yours.
Okay, honey. You got to speak up.
I got one. I got one question for you today.
Okay.
Why has I always thought that FBI takes over if the search goes across state lines? Didn't they go across to the Kentucky landfill? And why have they not turned it over?
They, I mean, they don't necessarily always do that. Don't necessarily always do it. That's the only time the FBI would potentially, take over. But there was also nothing found in that landfill, they say, at least. So I can't answer that, to be honest.
It seems like once everybody started searching that, and they got something in their head, it could be something, and then it goes searching, maybe to Mississippi.
Yeah.
It seems like to me that's kind of like a triple bomb that they should just put the fresh eyes on it
Mm-hmm.
with FBI. So that had me confused, really.
Well,
Thought that one.
all I know is a barefooted 15-year-old doesn't walk out of state into a landfill, right?
No.
They don't do
No.
that. And they weren't looking for him to possibly be alive even that early on.
That's what's got I think everybody's so confused. They always, but I had a friend here the other day tell me if you want to bury a kid somewhere, take them to Tennessee. And I'm going, oh my God, because we'd been talking about some cases, because they don't tell you anything if they're on a track or anything. And, you get that almost 6 months down the road, and you're thinking, well, I guess they're not going to tell nobody anything.
Right.
And that's what's so scary is, well, I don't think just go ahead and turn it over to the FBI, whether they have nothing or a bit and nothing. I just think once that land bill was checked.
Yeah.
I agree. They know something's going on.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I wanted to know, Justin. That really bothers me.
Yeah. Trust me, I know. This case is very bothersome. It is.
Yeah, it's confusing, and Ellie's not helping on that situation.
Yeah. All right.
And that's what I wanted to ask you about that.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right. From what I understand, they did look at the other landfills. That was done very secretly, by the way, but someone came out.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Clutch your pearls.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, darling. Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I just have a question about Sebastian's shoes.
His shoes?
I think it was Nancy Grace. Yeah, I think when Nancy Grace first did the interview, they said that all of his shoes was accounted for.
Correct.
But I remember Katie stating that he put on his slippers and took the trash out.
Mm-hmm.
But Seth said that he he had 3 pair of shoes. The boots he bought him, an old pair of tennis shoes, and the shoes he wore to school. So I wonder if they ever accounted for the slippers.
Did she say he put on his slippers?
Yeah.
Do you know which interview that was?
It was around the first video that was done with Nancy Grace.
It was the video with Nancy Grace?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go back and listen to that.
And something else, Chris made the comment in one of the videos, I think it was with Nancy as well,
Mm-hmm.
that he always wanted to be a ninja, and now he could be. So what did he mean by that?
And that was Nancy Grace too?
Yeah.
Someone saying Seth said Sebastian had slippers at his house. And he wanted to be a ninja and now he could be? I don't remember that either.
Yeah, that I saw Chris say that.
And that was on Nancy Grace too?
I think so. And do you know if a cadaver dog can smell through concrete?
Yes, they can.
Or no?
Yep.
Okay. What about all the houses that his step-grandparents were building at the time? If anybody's checked records for septic permits?
I would say that the houses that they build, they probably don't use septic systems. I would think, because they're usually in the houses that they build are always in a community very similar to like where Chris and Katie live.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I know if they live out in the country, a lot of them doesn't offer.
yeah.
You know, the city sewage.
Right. The subdivisions. Thank you, Mohawk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was all. Just sitting here thinking about it and thought I would call you and see what you thought.
I'm gonna see if I can find those. See what you. But all right. Thank you, my dear.
You have a good day.
You too, my dear. Bye bye.
Bye.
I do remember the ninja comment, but it was worded differently than she's saying. I don't remember the interview, but I remember hearing him make a ninja comment. Like, I remember something about a ninja, but I don't remember the now he can be a ninja part. You know what I mean? We need 141 more, just the tips, until we get to 1,000. You know you want just to tip. Come on now. Tip. I think the ninja comment was about Sebastian. Huh. I don't know where this kid is. God, I wish I did. What? It's not a stone, it's a piece of glass. It's a piece of glass with wire around it. Right there. Justin, are you alright? I've never noticed you playing with your necklace before. I mean, does that make you not alright if you play with your necklace? I haven't been right for 40 years. Nothing's changing anytime soon. We need to merge all voice commentary for Seth, KP, CP, and put it in a recording to analyze it. Chris does say Sebastian Always wanted to be a ninja, and now it's oh, okay. And now he's done it. Hey, Stephanie. The poker night thing. I don't know anything about the poker night thing. I don't know. So, I will have to, for me to like put that in my theory, I have to speak to someone. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I'm not saying I can add it to. I do that when I'm nervous a lot. No, no, Brendan. Someone was just asking about it. Um, CP was describing T words and commenting on his. Yeah. Lines are open if anybody wants to call. He said that they fooled. It'll go down in history. Yeah. That makes me think that wherever he is really, really not likely to be found. Do you know what I mean? Because he's like, this will be something for years to come. Who makes a comment? Well, Chris does. Who also calls his ex-wife, mother of his child, talks to her and says that Sebastian is missing. Nina's like, well, I need to call the attorney because, Chris, we have court next week. And Chris says, we're not having court next week. Justin, 4-month-old missing baby. Where? Where, my dear? They really are. So, also, thinking about, being married, which I haven't. That was an impression of Chris. I got to look at it. Remind me to talk about them being married here in a little bit after this call. Clutch thy pearls. Hello.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, darling. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, honey?
Living the dream. Living the dream.
That's all we can do.
That's right. That's right. How are you doing?
I got a question. I'm doing good. Justin, I enjoy your show. And what do you really think is going on with Sebastian?
I think that this is going to remain a cold case unless he is found or a miracle happens.
It's beginning to look like a Summer Wells case.
Yep.
And I just don't. It's disappointing
It's very disappointing.
with the parents. When you have children, you love them through thick and thin.
Yep.
I had two. One had ADHD and autism. And I will say it was a challenge to raise him.
but now he's 44 and he works in the healthcare industry
Uh-huh.
and married. He's got 2 girls.
Oh,
I just, there was times I thought I can't handle this. You know what I mean?
right.
But the love of a parent, you never give up. You never give up. And yeah, you do get tired, but you never give up.
Yeah.
But I just don't feel good about it.
I don't either, because I think whatever, wherever he is, I just don't know. I just think he's going to be hidden very, very well.
That's what I think.
But you know what
Justin,
I pray all the time, and I pray this for Summer Wells, and I pray this for Monkey Vaughn. God, you can unearth anything and everything. Put the right person in the path. If it needs a big flood, if it needs an earthquake, just do it, please. Something all
they
the
need
time.
to rest in peace. And I'm like you. If it takes a flood to bring them out, unearth them wherever they are, I pray for that.
Yep, that's
Because
happened before.
They both need it. They deserve it.
Yes, they do.
But I just don't understand why none of these parents are being charged for neglect. Because it's very obvious there were neglect going on.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
thank you for taking my call, Justin. I won't get. I know somebody else is probably trying to call in.
you're fine, my dear. Thank you so much for calling.
But you are a sweetheart and
Thank
got a
you.
big heart.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Okay. Yes. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Uh,
So Paisley was found. Paisley was found. Where was she found at? Paisley Lee. Hold on 1 second. It's, how does she spell it? Paisle. Okay. 1 second. Hold on. Are you sure she was found? Where do you see that? I see you. Never mind. You sent it to me. Okay. Here we go. All right. PLG 13 says update Amber Alert canceled for 4-month-old missing out of Simpsonville found safe. And that was for 4-month-old Simpsonville, Kentucky. Paisley Lay. Yep. All right. Look at that little baby with the binkies. Little binkies. Thank the Lord in heaven. That is good news. Really, really good news. Thank God for that. Thank God. 4 months old. Can you believe it? That's just so much going on. Yes, got the little binkies in her mouths. Little angel. Um, I mean, it's been a very good week for babies being found safe overall. You know, been a very good week overall. Now, let's go over some stuff. So let's talk about the night that Sebastian goes missing. If we take this, stuck out to me. A caller called out the other night and is speaking, made a very good point. For instance, if Katie said that the first, like that she went in Sebastian's room at 11:30 and he was still up and he told him to go to bed. Okay. He tells her to go to bed. Why would they end up like moving the time around earlier to 10 o'clock or so? How would that benefit the narrative? You get what I mean? Like there has to be a beneficial something to benefit their story, in my opinion. I still have a problem with the teenager telling the adult to go to bed. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can see Sebastian saying, "Don't worry about it, Mom. Go to bed." And but the problem is the changing stories regarding Katie's last interaction with Sebastian is a huge red flag. Well, so we've got to take out Chris and Katie's conversation in this theory, right? We got to take out. Okay, another thing I wanted to mention. He says he calls her at 9:46 or 9:48, right? Something like that. Why would he call her so late to talk to her for so long, right? When you've got to be at work the next day. Tells me, yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's personally, I don't think that was, yeah, I agree, Carol. I just don't think it's like, yes, Vic, thank you. Well, Tina, it was once they got to telling their stories. He was tricking just an open relationship. What does that mean, Molly? Oh, did someone delete Molly? Did someone say something? Did I miss something? Okay. I believe they got him off the back door and took him into the forest. He was seeing other women inside. Maybe. Chris don't like Sebastian. He even almost said that. So there was some incidents or an incident at school where Sebastian allegedly did some very inappropriate things for his age, right? I wonder, like, is that, it's like Chris is always saying, he didn't want his daughter around Sebastian, maybe because he did that stuff, but just because, you may not want your one kid to see what your other kid did at school or whatever, but that doesn't mean uh, get rid of the kid. You know what I mean? Domestic pin of exactly would encourage a shower and brush teeth before bed. Well, so let's think about that, right? It is, let me do this. What time do they get back from the steakhouse? Thank you, Fun Size. Love you too, my dear. Thank you for 10 amazing months. Thank you. Chris made the mistake of getting on YouTube. It was what, I think it was like 6:40, roughly 7. Okay, 7. All right. Let's talk about this. 7 p.m. Get home from Texas Steakhouse. Okay. All right, 7 p.m. All right. Did Seth ever say what time he was seen taking out the trash, or not necessarily him taking out the trash, but what time the trash video was? I'm sure Chris would have thought it was Katie's boyfriend. Right, so we got 7 p.m. Now, Sebastian is in bed or going to bed at 9 p.m., right? Sebastian going to bed. Right, 9 p.m. Sebastian's going to bed. Right, so we got 7 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. in one account, thud, right? Thud, right? And then midnight, 12, Katie, bed. So we got that. before school bus. Is the curb with the trash can opposite front door? I believe he may be near Seth. They may have tried to. I don't know. There was 17 hours that, in my opinion, something's not right. $17 freaking hours. Seth said every time his daughter came to visit Sebastian, would be shipped over there every. Yep. Right. So we're going to look at this. 7 p.m. gets home from Texas Steakhouse. 9 p.m. Sebastian says he's going to bed. 10 p.m. thud. 12 Katie's going to bed. Right? Katie says, we had a pretty good evening after we got home. A pretty good evening. Sebastian played in his room. Yep. Remember, Nina said, felt like he wanted to say more. CP said himself, he shows Seth didn't have anything to do with Sebastian. Yeah. Even Chris says, Katie says that he had nothing to do with it. Yep. Nina said, you guys have cameras. Justin, could the law enforcement use like satellite radar to track CP and KP like they do in the military? I mean, if they have their camera or their vehicle on, yes. Can we look in the area of where Seth lives? Sure. I think if he is not just out of that search area, then he is most likely on. Then I wonder if he is in Mississippi. Chris had to go get that camper. Or on the route. Had to go get that camper. Why? There was no point. There was no need. It was not an emergency. Whose videos there? Teen in the middle of the night snacking, right? No, Blue Angel. It's very difficult for an individual to cremate someone. It takes a lot of energy, heat, fuel, for someone to be cremated on a regular fire. It's going to take bukus of hours. Bukus. And that leaves so much residue, if you will. So much. Because even then, the heat is not as hot as it was like when I worked for a funeral home. there's a lot to it. I'll just say that. So one of Chris's cousins or relation, he does. But the funeral thing, just like in Summerwell's case, it's nothing, guys. There is so many regulations, procedures, policies, when you turn on a crematory machine, it's going to tell you, you have to put like the it's literally a computer nowadays. They're so advanced. You have to put the weight of the person, right? And all of this. And then you have to log it, and it's going to tell you how much fuel it's going to use, how much gas it's going to use, and sign off. And then another person has to sign off that. Clutch your pearls.
Hello,
Hello, dear.
this is Carolyn
Carolyn.
from Tennessee. Yes, I live in Nashville, just a few miles from Hendersonville,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been watching your show for quite some time now. And the thing I don't hear anyone say
Mhm.
is, why don't we have an account of where CP was um, for even a week prior to Sebastian going missing? But in particular, what was he doing Saturday and Sunday of that weekend?
Exactly. Yes.
That
Why?
should be that should be pretty easy to find out. And
Mm.
he should be. I mean, he's the stepfather. He should have to give an accounting of all his whereabouts, especially for that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, we know there's no scent. So the child did not leave like the mom and stepdad said he did. Then we got the stepdad that's talking constantly like he was there. And the only thing that makes sense to me, forget all the
Uh-huh.
is talk about where was Sebastian if he indeed did get home, and I believe he did.
I do too.
Um, and CP has a history of banging children around. And so maybe there was some kind of argument that occurred between the three. And, whether he planned it or whether he didn't, he smacked him, he hit his head on something. They say in all liars that there's always a little bit of the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got the thud. And in my mind, that thud is indeed Sebastian. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Okay. Then we got Katie's car in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way to remove that child and leave no scent. And another thing that bugs me, why was her car not searched thoroughly? There could have, if they want to say he was talking to people online, even though they say he didn't have an online account. Kids are industrious, we'll say. But even something like that, I mean, you look for everything, don't you? And to me, it doesn't seem like it's even been investigated.
They said that they searched all the vehicles.
Did they search the home?
Yes.
See, in my
Multiple
opinion,
times.
He should have never been able to go get that RV until it was searched. I think it should have been confiscated.
1,000%. 1,000%. He should have never have been able to go get that RV until it was search cleared, period, point
I mean,
blank,
yeah.
stop.
I mean, there should have that RV should have been went over. I mean, you don't have to be a detective. You don't have to be some super law person to understand that this child is missing with no scent of him. How in the world do you expect anyone? Do they expect anyone to believe this story?
Oh, people believe it. Sadly, I mean, people believe that. They're like, I don't know what happened. He may not have a scent. He may not be on camera. He may not have shoes, but by gum, he bet you he walked out of that 5 mile radius. I'm like, and they haven't
Another
found
thing that
one
shows
scent of him in a 5 mile radius. Not a scent, not a article of clothing, not a footprint, nothing. And you
yeah,
still believe that? Let me
which means
sell
he
you
did
a
not.
Brooklyn Bridge.
It's like CP is infamous for saying it's like he evaporated. And in order, in my opinion, in order to believe that story, you have to believe that child evaporated because the child does have a sense.
Yeah.
You know, if he was decomposing somewhere, I think we'd smell him. And that's just common to us as humans or animals. We all have a sense,
Absolutely.
you know. And so we haven't searched. I've never heard that the RV's been searched at all. And in my opinion, when
It
he
was
left the
searched.
roadhouse,
It was searched. Several days. Uh, it was even searched back when they went back to Mississippi. Remember
hmm
when Chris and Katie first went to Mississippi? It was searched a little while
yes,
after they went to Mississippi, right around the Nancy Grace time that they did the interview with Nancy Grace.
okay. I didn't even know that had occurred, but in my opinion, don't even say you searched it. I mean, you were given what, a month? It was 8 days before they did their first interview.
They didn't do an
What?
interview until they started saying we're going to be on the investigative side. That is when they start. The very day that they said that is the very day they started doing interviews.
Well, wasn't that the 8th day after you went missing? Or however long it was, and then it gets out, and then they move. But what I'm saying is he should have never been able to go back to Memphis and set up because they didn't know that he wasn't involved in this child's disappearance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because we know what time you got to work, we still don't know what you did Saturday or Sunday.
Right.
I mean, it is so infuriating to me because this is a human being.
I know.
Uh, he deserves to be found. And if, for some, and I don't believe he'll ever be found alive. I hate to say that.
I
I
don't either.
truly do.
I don't either.
But if he is found alive, then he never needs to be around those people.
I mean,
Ever again.
can you imagine? Think about this a minute. I don't think I've said this. Can you imagine? Let's say Sebastian is found. Praise God. Let's praise God if he is. But knowing your mother didn't search for you,
Oh my gosh.
think about that.
You know, and just I don't know much about autism at all,
Right.
but I don't think that renders them like a retarded person. So like what you just said has to run deep with a child like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you
And
just a
think about
correction?
this.
I just need you to say like mentally challenged or something like that because that's uh not we're not supposed to say it.
Retarded.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I stand corrected.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's just so, um, it's just so, to me, I don't know how anyone could give a shred of credibility from the first interview throughout. I
Mhm.
mean, this child did not just disappear. He certainly didn't leave the home like they said he did. If he did, there would be something to show that he did. I mean, it is not common sense to think he walked out of that home. That he walked out barefoot in the middle of winter. I
Mm.
live in Tennessee. We
Yeah.
have humid weather even in the wintertime, and it is cold, cold, cold.
Mhm.
So he's going to walk out. He's going to be barefoot, or even if he has socks on, that doesn't matter either. Um, but he walks out. He's a teenage boy, and he doesn't take his phone with him.
Mhm. Well, it doesn't
You
take
know,
his
and
phone. I
then how
mean,
does
doesn't take your shoes, doesn't take your coat, but he took a flashlight, and damn if a few days later, if we didn't get some flashlight videos.
right? And then they say it wasn't flashlight. Who says that? And how did they know it wasn't flashlight?
It was some type of light, and I think that, in my opinion, that was a preemptive effort that if it was seen, ooh, it might have been Sebastian.
Yeah, I think they made up the story about him having a flashlight so they could cover up for the lights that were flashing around outside.
Yeah.
Um,
He didn't take
you
his
know,
Nintendo Switch. You know, that kids will they'll get mad or whatever, and they'll say, I'm running away or whatever. You know how kids do, and they'll go pack their
hmm
bags. You know what I mean? I did that when I was a
right,
kid. I got mad one time and it's
me too.
I'm running away, and went to my room, packed my bags, didn't make it out even the yard. I mean, 'cause I was too damn scared of anything. Um,
But I did run away with a girlfriend one time
yeah.
until we had to start sharing a pair of shoes, and things got hard because you have no money. I'm sure that Sebastian, even though he doesn't have a cent, I mean, how ridiculous. But I'm sure he gets hungry like the rest of us, thirsty. He's going to have to reach out to someone if he left, like they said he did, with only a flashlight.
Sebastian was scared of the back door sound. He was terrified of darkness. Chris and Katie even says this. He doesn't like the dark. He doesn't like the sounds of the doors. He's a kid that doesn't like to get dirty, right? Hates bugs. Now, just tell me how he walked out that
Here,
door. Tell me how he walked out that door with no shoes, not a coat, nothing on his back, right? Like a backpack, not a phone. Because I'll tell you something,
and
if I was
football,
going to run away, I would take my phone, because if shit got real, I would be like, I'm calling my mama. Tell you that.
right. Or if you know you can't call your mother, you can always call the police. You could call your dad.
What's wrong, Cheryl? Right.
You know. But anyway, I just wanted to put my little 2 cents in there and say, it bothers me that, I mean, almost everything that Katie and Chris have said is it just is contradictory. He's scared of the dark, but he walks out like you said. And
Mm-hmm.
I've heard you make that point many, many times. And I just think that we ought to demand to know Chris whereabouts that week, that whole week of
Sebastian leaving, but especially the Saturday and Sunday, because that's important to know where he was at. Was he traveling back to Mississippi, or was he in Hendersonville? And it is my belief he remained in Hendersonville. And he either left before they left the roadhouse and him and her met up, and he took the child in. But I think it makes more sense that they went home, that something happened in that home, and he was loaded into her car and later transferred to the RV. And, you know, he's somewhere. And I think that they need to do deep searches around where Chris had his RV at.
Yeah.
That is a very remote place, and there's this one place that, I mean, he could have done it, and he could have been out there hours with him, and nobody would have noticed it. That's how this place is covered up by trees and all sorts of stuff, where he could have had plenty of time to do whatever he wanted to do, dig a grave, whatever.
Yeah.
So there's I forget his name, but there's a guy called Silver or something, and he's actually been there and traced it all the way, how he would have to go, and how he had to at least get to the RV. And about, I think it's 5-7 miles from where his RV was, is where that place was.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just don't understand why no one's looking in those places. Why don't we, instead of taking Chris's word, which to me he has proved himself to be a liar over and over, why don't we see what he was doing for those 17 hours? Prove to us.
Absolutely.
You know
But
what I'm saying?
this is the thing. Chris won't even tell us. First of all, he won't even talk to a man. He won't even talk to a
Right.
man that wears lipstick. So, it is what it is. And I'm like, Chris, if you were talking to Katie for 2 hours, people call it the 3-hour phone call. It was a 2-hour phone call. If while you were speaking to her, were you moving around? Were you just laying there? Were you in a car? Were you in a store? I can't answer that. Why?
But see, the police could answer that. The police definitely, if they have the initiative, and in my opinion, they don't. But just like Alex Murdaugh, they can tell he was walking around in his house.
Mm-hmm.
They can tell how much movement.
Absolutely. That's the point. That's the point. And several people has asked him. I've actually got one of the texts right here of someone asking him about that. And you would think he would just be like, yeah, I was just laying there, or no, I was driving, and that's that, but no, it's part of the investigation. You were supposedly 3.5 hours away, you buffoon. You're just talking to your wife. If there's nothing foul involved, why can't you answer that? It makes you look suspicious by just not answering it.
Exactly. And then this mysterious car.
Yes.
Well, from everything that I can tell, and from watching your program, and I think there's one other that I've watched on that, it seems like that it kind of matches the vehicle his mother drives.
Say that again?
It seems like that this vehicle kind of matches what Chris's mother drives.
I disagree.
Why do you disagree?
See, I originally was the one that said that it looks like a QX80. I drove a QX80. And then
Right.
another creator gets a QX80 and overlaps it, and it's like perfect match. Well, I can get just about any vehicle to manipulate it to look like a perfect match. You got to work your, but anyway, it
Well,
has,
this creator, did you not trust what? I mean, do you think they manipulated it to make it look like a match?
I'm not saying that, but I mean, this is what I'm saying. Infinities, QX60s, QX80s. I had a QX80, exactly identical, except the collar, to the Bauer socks. Had one. I'll find a picture and show it to you in my driveway. Had it. Infinities, the back lights go horizontal, across.
Oh,
Across. This
right.
vehicle, in that is we see near the Proudfoot's home, goes vertical, up and down.
Oh,
This light goes up
okay.
and down. It is, and infinities are like this. Most
Right.
Japanese cars, Nissan is part of Infinity. They're owned, same company. Many
Toyota and
Toyotas, all of them, they're SUVs. They're horizontal.
okay.
American vehicles are usually the SUVs, and if it's General Motors, um, many of Fords, like their trucks and their SUVs, are vertical, up and down.
Right.
And this vehicle, that we can only see the headlights and the taillights, is vertical. It is absolutely vertical.
So it's American made.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's American made. I don't want to say that either. I did just say that, but I don't
Well,
want
I
to say
meant
I don't want to say that. I'm just saying that this light is vertical,
right.
in my opinion.
Okay. It doesn't look like an import.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not horizontal. Definitely not horizontal.
Well, you've cleared up a few things for me. Thanks a lot for letting me speak for
Sure.
us. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I just am, for some reason, you know, the little girl, Summer, there's been several others, and him. There's just some of them you get obsessed with, and I've been obsessing on Sebastian's for a while because it just seems so unjust to me.
It
I mean, this
seems
child to
Summer
me,
Wells 2.0 is exactly what it is. And it's going, if shit doesn't like get it together, it's like it's going to be exactly, it makes me nauseous that Dawn and Candace are just up there, don't give a wooden nickel about anything but themselves. Never did, never will, but they've got to face the Almighty with
well,
that.
at one time I lost some money in my okay, and we're
Mhm.
talking about money, not a human being.
Right.
But even money showed up when I moved. I had stuck it up under some sheets. Probably had it in my hand, and one of the kids needed me, and I ran to
do something with them and just stuck it up there under the sheet so I could get back and didn't think to do it. But, you know, everything that goes missing usually shows up unless you've taken a lot of care to make sure it doesn't.
Yes. Yep.
So that's just my opinion on it. But thanks for letting me speak with you
Of course.
and put my 2 cents in.
Thank you for calling,
And
my
I'm going
dear.
to watch the rest of. You're welcome.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. So, thank you, Brenda. Thank you, my dear. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Excuse me. Pardon me. So there, you know, when it comes to, I do need to do some research when it comes to, do you have to, like, a caller called in the other day and she was saying you don't have to, you know, you don't have to be interrogated or testify or do anything that could incriminate you or your husband or wife, your spouse. We'll just say spouse. And I knew that for in some states, that, you know, that did happen. But I wasn't sure if that also, you know, was in Tennessee or not. But the caller said it was. I need to do some research on it. But remember, by just about all accounts, that Chris and Katie were having it hard, right? They were having it hard. And let's not forget. So, and they were, you know, they were struggling. Was it over Sebastian? Was it over Faith? You know, wanting, and listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I absolutely would understand Katie's grief when it comes to her, you know, Chris saying, I want your son out of this house. You know, he's being unruly at school. I don't want him around my daughter, right? And he can go live with his dad and we will take care of my daughter and you will take care of my daughter, right? So I wonder, I would understand Katie. I would understand Katie. And Chris did, you know, Sebastian is not there. Like I say, no matter what happened, Chris got his wish. He wanted Sebastian out of the house. Whether there's foul play or not, he wanted Sebastian out of the house. And wondering, going back to the marriage thing, what changed, right? What changed since Sebastian went missing? Did, you know, they seem like little lovebirds after the first new or the second news interview, holding the hands and rubbing the hands and all of this, which I understand in times of grief. You can put your differences aside for the moment, but eventually life happens again. Eventually life happens again. Oh, someone, please don't mention, I don't know who mentioned it, but I just saw a mod. Please don't mention any creator in chat. It's nothing personal. We just don't mention other creators unless it's something positive. Um, and it's just a policy that I do because creators are, some of them are, enough. So I always say, if we just don't have anything nice to say, whether we like them or not, we just don't say, we just try to stay above that here. But like I was saying, life happens again for the two. Maybe they put their differences aside for a while, but life happens. Or are they still butting heads? But is this something that they may stay married over? Because if there, for instance, would be foul play, they wouldn't have to, testify or do any sort of, maybe interrogation. Again, I have to check the law, so I'm just kind of going off what the caller said the other day. F is gone now. There's just two of them. His one vulgar phrase he used showed the type. Well, I'll be honest with you, and I've said this for a long time. I absolutely 100%, in my only opinion, think that Katie has never spoken to TBI, been questioned by herself. His one vulgar phrase he said showed the type of person he is to me. If you're not effing me, feeding me, and doing my laundry, it's none of your business. I mean, they are the ones that, ask the public for the help, right? But that's also a reason why I think Chris went home during the weekends. Is, like Chris said in his own words, to get effed and fed and get his dishes done. Hanny, to get his dishes done. You know what I'm screaming? He needs to do a Cascade commercial for the dishwasher, the Cascade, or the jet dry. The jet dry. Let me be crystal clear. And his clothes washed. Yes, I think she did his laundry. That's why they went to Sam's Club on the weekend, BJ's, whatever, for his snacks, his food. She, he came home with dirty clothes. So all of that. Unlover, really respect your ethics and humanity. Rare in today's answer. Thank you so much, my dear. Really appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Thank you. Just because others, just because we don't like others, they may call us names or do whatever that they do. I always tell people, just, even other creators, just don't, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Um, so we just got to, rise above it. Maybe something happened that Friday night at the uncle's house. Kimbo, it may have, but the thing is, I need to know how that happened, if it happened, and if it did happen, for me to actually give you something, right, that I can't say that, I can say Terry, for instance, I can say Terry said that she spoke to one of the guys at the party and they say it happened. You know what I'm saying? But I can't say that I spoke to them, right? So I would like to speak to someone at that party if possible. Maybe if Terry would maybe let me do a 3-way call with them. I would never, with my 3 different channels that I go live on, in going on 3 years, I have never, ever, ever outed a source, ever. And you can take that to the bank. And I would never, because it's very important to, a lot of people have came to me and sometimes I don't even, have to call them, for sources with different things. They'll call me because they know I will never say anything. I will ever. You, like, whenever, you take the fall before you ever would your source, right? You don't say, well, this person said that this. No, you take it. So thank you, Marilyn. Snazzy are in. Welcome to the family. Good to see you. I haven't seen you. I've not seen you in a while. Good to see you. Pearls look amazing on you. Thank you, my dear. Justin for All is my biggest channel. I just need to reapply for my monetization there. That's my biggest channel. This is my second biggest channel, and which is the one we're on now, Clutched in Pearls. And my third channel is called Hey, Hey, Sweet, SWEET, and TEA. Hey, Sweet Tea. Thank you, Michelle. Questions from Nancy was very telling. She had information, in my opinion. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nancy, you can, she's got that prosecutor in her, right? She's a former prosecutor. So most of the questions you ask, you're going to know them before you ask them. You just kind of want to see what you're working with, right? Um, you want to know if they're going to be truthful on this question, and maybe a couple questions later, if they're truthful on those, they're more likely to be truthful on the questions you ask that you don't know, right? So that's a good way of filling out someone, is ask some questions that you do know, uh, and then ask them that. And if they're truthful, then they're likely to be truthful with the other stuff. On what tonight? I see you. In my opinion, KP saying SR left the flashlight because her or CP chasing SR to catch him in the backyard. He was trying to be the lights. See, I don't believe that there was a chase outside personally. I don't believe that there was a scuffle. I forget what they call it. Not a. They, I forget what the word was. Oh, was there something going on? I think she walked him to the vehicle. I think he went inside after he took out the trash, and whether the ruckus, yeah, I don't believe there's a ruckus. I think something popped off. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Thank you. I'll be back on that one a lot more once I just reapply for my monetization. Which I can do it anytime now. But I believe that there was something. There was a thud. Katie tells us that there was a thud. And I believe when they're lying, they always have a grain of truth. I don't believe there's a grain of truth in every lie. I don't believe that personally, but I do believe that there are grains of truth within the story, where the story is, right? People say there's truth in every lie. I don't believe that personally, because some people will just lie, but I do believe that they will weave some truthfulness in that story. Yeah, Simone, the ruckus video, in my opinion, and again, this is my opinion, that ruckus is literally like less than a second or two of video that is, it seems it is clipped and just replayed over and over, but it's in extraordinarily slow motion. So while you're seeing, all of this going on, that's actually the entire clip that you see going slow is actually like a second, like extraordinarily slowed down, right? But again, that is just my opinion. I'm not going to knock people for believing what they believe, because at the end of the day, none of us knows. And whatever happened to Sebastian has already happened to Sebastian. And it's our beliefs and feelings are not going to change it. The ruckus is nothing but bad video software footage. Yeah, I think it's tree branches, personally. Carmelita, how are you, dear? Ruckus, far-fetched, same as flashlight. At the same time as the flashlights. So do you ruckus too far-fetched and at the same time as flashlights? Yes. Very good point, Simone. Very good point. Maybe they moved him. I certainly believe he was in something. I absolutely do believe that something was used. Now, the problem is there is a few critical points, in my opinion, right? Riley's, Justin, thank you for your class and integrity with which you run it. Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Thank you, my dear. Very kind of you. Thank you for your kind words as well. Appreciate it. Hey Mimi, there's a few things that we need to look at, right? It's obviously critical what happened after they got home from the 25th to 6 until Katie gets back. When she leaves, where does she go? Right? Until she gets back home. That is critical. Right? So the entire night through the morning, Katie gets up, checks around, and remind me of this. I need to write myself this. This is so critical. We need to know if 1,100 likes. Thank you, guys. Y'all are amazing. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We need to know a very simple question. Very simple. But will tell me a lot, in my opinion. Did Katie turn on Sebastian's light to his room at 6 a.m.? Did she turn on the light to his room at 6 a.m.? And if she didn't, why? It was dark. Right? You may walk in there and say, Sebastian, get up. Get up, time to get up. Sleepyhead, get up. Then you don't hear him or anything like that. Then you're going to flip that light on. That light's coming on. And when you start looking around for him, the light is definitely going to come on. So she says she looks for a couple minutes. That light, and it is dark at 6 o'clock, right? In the morning. So that light needs to be kicked on. And if it didn't, that's a problem. So after they get home, all the way to the time they wake up, that light needs to kick on. And at 6:03, Katie is pulling out of that driveway, going throughout the neighborhood and over to his school. And however long she is gone, it was 6:03. What time did she get back? What time did she say she get back? What time did she get back from in the car? That's very important. Another key time of significant importance is Wednesday, right? Let me pull this. February 25th. Wednesday, February 28th. Wednesday, February 28th. What happened on Wednesday, February 28th for a minimum of 17 hours? 17 hours comes from Chris's words, right? Why would you go whenever your wife is home alone? She's frantic. Your stepchild is missing. There's no reason for you to go to a different state to pick up your camper. And you spend the night. That's something that you didn't need to go there and do that anyways. You paid for it in advance. Number two, even if you did, why did you spend the night? Why did you spend the night? That's what I would like to know. 6:03, she called Chris. He called police buddy at 6:34, and he told Katie to get home. The police are on their way, and they arrived after 6. And they arrived after 7. 6:03, she called Chris. He called police buddy at 6:34. Yes. Yeah. From home at 7 up until midnight, Chris could drove there between those. Yeah. Did I sing Happy Birthday to you? Did I sing Happy Birthday to You by Marilyn Monroe? Darling. Did I, Mimi? Let me find something here. Let me know if I didn't say anything. Um, Sorry, I'm looking at something. 1 second. Guys, did y'all see this morning? It's your birthday too? Okay, Mimi and Tori. 1 second. I'm going to sing to you my rendition of Marilyn Monroe. All right. It is Tori's and Mimi's birthday. Woo! Fix my microphone. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mimi and Tori. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mimi and Tori. Happy birthday, my darlings. Happy birthday, darlings. I don't live anywhere near Long John Silver's or Captain D's. Where did that come from, Lisa? I love you, darling. I never tell anybody it was her birthday. I actually hate when it rolls around. You know something? Something that scares me is time. I'll be honest with you. Time really scares me. It's not so much about me though, it's about my loved ones. You know what I mean? So that's what, for me, I don't really, you know, but time is so precious. Thank you, Soldier Girl. Time is so precious. And it's very, very short. If you live 100 years, it's very short. So I try not to think about it. I'm just like, all right, get out of your head. Yeah, okay, Mac, exactly. So anywho, guys, I'm going to end it here. Sorry, I was a little off today. I don't know. Appreciate you. That's right. Daily affirmation. I am ageless and timeless. But when you're dead, you're not. So such an optimist there, aren't I? You're right, though, actually. Thank you, sweet Serenity. Brittany had a live a couple days ago. She played a live of Clue. Sorry about that. Of Clue and Truth. And sounds like Truth is looking at things differently after getting away from YouTube for a week. Thought it was interesting. Who is Truth who is Truth? Oh, isn't he is he a guy? Does he have like a raspy voice? Truth, not feelings. Okay. Well, you know, I will tell you this. I don't really talk about other creators or anything, but what I will say is that we have all been changed by people around us, right? We will do things, all of us, every single one of us will fall into it if we're honest, because we will change what we stand on at times, what we will put up with at times, what we will bend to at times for who we love at the time, right? You know, there's been, don't say you haven't ever done it. You've dated a man or dated a woman, say, I would never put up with this. God shows you, you get with this man or woman, this happens. What do you mean? You said you would never put that up with? Oh, girl, I know, but, right? And we've all done things at times because a group does it, right? Yes. What time is Mr. Shares? I got to go over to Mr. Shares. Yes. We all do it because of a group, or will do things or say things. And sometimes we lose ourselves. Sometimes we lose ourselves. You know, I have done that on YouTube, especially whenever I first started YouTube, and now, you know, people will say, oh, well, why do you talk to this creator, Justin? Right? Why do you talk to this creator? Why do you talk to that creator? And it says, because they've never done nothing to me. And I'm not going to go with the pact. And they may have done shitty things in the past, right? But they're not doing it now, and they've changed from what they used to be. I can tell you that. But I try to give everyone a chance. I try to give everyone a chance. Why do you talk, Mister? Not you, Mister. You guys are a class act. Happy birthday. What time does Mr. Share go live? Let me see here. Let me look. Prairie Boy. Okay. Let me look. All right. 10:50. 10:50 p.m. This is Mark. This is Cher's husband. Yeah, I will speak to who I'm not going to get lost in any little clique. It's not high school. I'm a grown ass person. You're a grown ass person. Live it. You know what I mean? There's Prairie Boys. I'll be over there at 10 my time, 10:50 p.m. Eastern. That would be 9:50 Central. So thank you all so much. Really appreciate you. Thank you. Truly. Love you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Lord willing. Lord willing. I may come back really late tonight if I don't sleep. We'll see. Right. I hear you. All right, guys. Good night. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you all for your time, your friendship, the mods, the members, donors, you just being here in chat. Thank you here for being for these kids and the missing every day. Really do appreciate it. Valentine, sweetie, they dropped here. I'll drop Mr. Share's link again there. Love you guys. Bye bye. Maybe.